Hello, hello. I'm just doing a test now. I don't believe we have anybody in the room, but just checking lighting. Things look good. Bit of shadow, but forgive me for that. All right, I think we will just wait till we get somebody in the room here, and then we'll start talking about different things, and we can go from there and kind of an open discussion where we can talk about different places to travel, where we're going to go, and why we want to go there, and for see what happens. We are a couple minutes early, but figured earlier is better than being late. So coming from the kitchen, that's the way to do it. All right, there we go. Okay, guys, it is 7 p.m. New York Standard Time, and we are going to start this live stream. So I'm not going to go too deep into things. There's nobody in the chat room yet. So, yeah. Just going to send out a couple invites here, see if that gets the attention for some people. I believe just click on the link there. I should come up. Can you hear me now? Just doing a bit of a sound test here. See if everybody can mic up and connect with me and then hear me. Test, 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 test. There we go. We have one person in the chat, I believe. I believe I see one person, or I did see one person in the group there. I am not sure. Okay, maybe that's just me in the chat. All right. I believe we have 3 views as I'm seeing. I'm not sure what is happening here. Hello there. I see Diane Jennings has joined us, and XYSU Susan is there. Hey, hey, how's it going? Glad you guys could join the stream. Just let me know if you can hear me and everything is good on that note. Let's see what we can do here. Bear with me with the technical difficulties. Yeah, this is kind of new for me. Oh, there we go. We got some people joining us. All right, yes, we have two new people in there, so welcome. And rainy night. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess it's better than freezing snow and rain and sleet than other parts of the country are having right now. I'm currently in South Florida, and we are having some really, really cold weather. Well, technically for South Florida, we're in the upper 40s and low 50s. So we're getting a bit of a chill out here too. So if you want, we can start it off. We can talk about where we want to go in 2026. And I'm going to go and say, yes, glad to hear my sound is coming through. Very good. This is all very new. No, the iguanas do not fall from the trees too often unless it gets very cold. They actually go into a bit of a sleeping state, and it is reported to have them fall from the trees. It's not common, but it does happen. Would you mind sharing where you are from in the great big world? Just the state is good. Keep it all very general here. All good. We can start off the travel bit. Um, Traveling doesn't have to be very far. Doesn't have to be the other side of the world. It can be the next state over. It can be the next town over. Over this past weekend, I had the chance to travel up to Whitehaven. No, pardon me, Winter Haven, northern Florida, and from there we went on to Brooksville, Florida, where I was filming a mini moto pit bike race, and I was up there, and it was chilly in the morning, and warmed up through the daytime, probably upper 70s, low 80s. And yeah, that was a great experience seeing another part of Florida. Everybody seems to think Florida is all about Disney World, Miami, South Beach, and things of the like with the Florida Keys and Key West. It's not. There's actually some really amazing, beautiful places in Florida. You go central, you go out west. Um, Things change a lot. We just drove for several hours north from South Florida, and we just yeah, went up there and raced bikes. I was running around the inside track and the pits of everywhere where the riders flying around, taking photos, taking video, and it was a great time. Great to see another part of a country, central Florida. There's a lot of options here in Florida, so it's really cool things to get out to and check out. Um, Also, uh, travel does take me pretty far. As you may have seen in some of my videos, we get pretty far north, pretty far south, and straddle the equator sometimes. And let's try this out. My next coming big adventure destination will be from the middle of March into the middle of April. I am taking a break from work on my private chef career, and I'm going to India. I'm going to India and Nepal with some really cool people who I've known for some time. My great friend Andy of Colorado Dive Travel is leading this trip with a couple of his friends, and I'm going to join him, and we're going to go film some tigers down in Bandhavgarh. Forgive me if I am pronouncing the Indian locations wrong. It's a bit challenging at times. So we are going to there and then to Agra to explore some of the temples, notably the Taj Mahal. And after that, we are going up to Nepal, to Kathmandu, to explore Chitwan National Park. Wow, amazing. Tobago, Bonaire, Barbuda, and sailing down the islands with someone. I would like to see some people in Union Island. I still have Caymans and Bermuda on my list. That's awesome. I have not been to any of those locations. My travels with work take me down to the Caribbean on a regular basis. So I was just down in St. Martin, St. Bart's, Anguilla, and I believe that was it on this trip. I've also been through a bit of the British Virgin Islands and uh, the U.S. Virgin Islands. We would often dock in St. Thomas, and then from St. Thomas, we would cruise from there with our charter guest to the British Virgin Islands. I've also used to live in St. Croix. That was a really cool place to stay and explore, and was there for work. And I wound up having a really nice time and staying there longer, and worked at a restaurant and a dive shop by day and by night. So that kept things rolling for me, pretty busy over there. And of course, just living up the islands and exploring the sights to see and the island lifestyle. Island time is a real thing. No matter how you cut it. In Fiji, we call it Fiji time. In other islands, we call it island time, and it's just one of those things. Yes. The British Virgin Islands, I was in Joost van Dyke a little bit. I was in, I can't remember, it's been some time for me. The beautiful cruising, Tortola, we're in and out of Tortola for a bit. And after that, we went to St. John's. A lot of the charter guests would like to go to Peter Island Resort, and they would enjoy the facilities there and explore some of the beautiful bays that are throughout that area. Sailing is incredible because it lets you go into the smaller bays and just drop anchor and secure yourself, and you can just explore the beaches, the coves. There's so much out there. I just wish I had more time to get out and experience the British Virgin Islands. I I know friends of mine that would love going to Bonaire. My friends love going there. My folks love going there as well too. They go there for diving. It's incredible, and they call it the shore diving capital of the world. If anybody's a scuba diver and doesn't like going out on boats all the time, you can rent a house, get a hotel, get a truck, fill it up with dive tanks, and from there you just drive around the island. And there's a map with the dive sites marked by yellow rocks, and you can just go out and at your own leisure with your buddy and explore the beaches and diving of Bonaire. I have not been there personally, but it's definitely on my list. It's funny, on my list I have like pages and pages and pages of things I want to do and places I want to go visit. So it's like we, tick one off the list, and after that we add about five more because we meet so many cool people. They say, "Oh, hey, you got to go here, you got to go there, you got to check this out, check that out," and you're like, "Okay, great, let's do that." And then it just keeps growing and growing and growing, which is good. And the adventure is never done. That's kind of what's behind my logo is Endless Traveler Productions. Grew up with cameras, diving, traveling, and everywhere I have been and explored. It's been fun just to see new places and just experience the world. That's kind of what it's all about here. We have someone else, I believe. I see joined the chat. Welcome, welcome. This is kind of a first time thing we are learning. I'm learning, and if this is your first time joining into the live stream, that's great. It's my first time too. So bear with me on the little hiccups and not knowing the ins and outs of everything here. Yes, amazing. That's incredible. I've heard that from different people. Bonaire is amazing. Some people just don't like going on the boats. They get seasick, or the dives are too short, or things like that nature, and they just want to do their own thing. And Bonaire is essentially the absolute perfect place to do that. You find your dive site based on your ability and experience, and you just go and explore. I know some friends will get houses or condos. They'll stay at a popular place called Bunny Dive. That's a real notable one in the dive community. And yeah, you can literally just explore and go as you like. That's the beauty of it. You can do one dive a day at lunchtime, or you can do 4 dives a day. One of them that can be at 2 o'clock in the morning if that's your cup of tea. You know, it's always your thing. So it's pretty fantastic. And saying you've been going there for 10 years is incredible. That speaks volumes. To keep going back to a place for that many years is just, you know, proof is in the pudding, as they say. You know, coming from a chef, you know, it's in the pudding, you know. But yeah, I can't say I've been going anywhere else for 10 years other than probably the Fiji Islands. I've been headed out there for 10 years, a little over 10 years actually, for work, for fun, and just exploring. Magnificent place. A lot of my dive experience and background comes in with being a dive instructor. I was a dive instructor full time for about 12 years, where I worked on different liveaboards and just explored, worked as crew, dive guide, cameraman, chef, toilet scrubber, bed maker, you name it, we did it. So it's been pretty awesome to get to do all that. Everest, yes. Everest is Mount Everest. It's incredible. I will be going to Nepal, and from Kathmandu, I will be taking a flight with Buddha Airlines, and it will be a scenic flight over Mount Everest and the surrounding mountains for about 1 hour, I believe. Unfortunately, that is as close as I can get to Mount Everest. I am not trained thoroughly even to get up to base camp, but base camp would be amazing to make. I have also been told that the Annapurna circuit is also something that is a very popular trekking route of 7, 10, 12-day hiking route in the travel community. It's great for cultural experiences with the local people and everything. Maybe in the future, I will be able to make it up to base camp. Hopefully, that will happen, and I'll be able to hit the gym a little bit more before that and get on the old treadmill and Stairmaster, everybody's favorite element at the gym. So, yeah, we'll try with that. And who knows? Maybe in the next several years, we'll go back and we'll hit base camp and the Annapurna circuit. Had either of you been up to Nepal or India yourselves? Please share any tips or direction if that's been a place for you. Check out the phone here. Leaving a couple of friends in here and stuff in our chat and discussion of different places to go to this time. All right. Attention. I hope everything is coming through on your end with the audio and stuff. I am in a crew house at the moment, so sometimes the internet is a bit slow at times. So I've been dealing with that with video uploads and everything. Train travel. I have not booked any train journeys yet in India. Yes, it is a very popular mode of transport over there. I have some flights through the country, and from there, I have flights into Nepal. I have some private rides booked with tour operators to pick me up from the airport and bring me to my needed locations. I am going to to Nepal, and then we're going to have Chitwan National Park, and it'll be a jungle-like, very hot, tropical, humid style of environment, and we're going to see how that all goes. We'll probably have some birds, some crocodiles, some elephants, and see how a lot of the birds that we can find can be pretty amazing up there. Just a second there. All right, so we have 4 people in the room now. So welcome to who's joining. And this is our first live stream here with YouTube. And hopefully everything goes well and everybody enjoys. We can do this again, maybe once a week, once every other week, maybe. We'll see what the responses are. After we leave Nepal, we're flying into India again via Delhi, which is the main international airport there. And then from Delhi, I'm flying to another town in the far west of central India to a park called Gir, Gir National Park. And there I am in pursuit of a Asiatic lion. It's similar to the African lions, but is a bit smaller in size. And it is only found in the wild still in this part of India. So if we're going to go there, film some lions, some birds, we're staying in a really nice eco lodge resort. And I'll be doing this on my own. My other travel group who I had the first part of the trip with is going to be leaving to go back home. And so I'm continuing on my own. I usually try to go over at least a month or as long as I can when I go somewheres. That's a very good question. Malaria precaution, that's to be looked into. Depends where you're going in India. I'm all up to date on my needed travel shots, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, things like that. So I'm covered on that note, but I am told that, as people might be aware, that sanitation in India is a little less than desirable and not really up to the common Western standards. So I am warned heavily by other fellow travelers to be very cautious, be very careful with the eating, drinking. That goes for other places you may have traveled. For people who like to get off the beaten path, like myself, ice. Do not put ice in your soda. You go to the restaurant, you go to a store, make sure everything is all sealed, cap, cans. If you do that, you have a better chance of not getting sick. So yeah, we're gonna go with that, and we're gonna have our medicine and antibiotics with us to make sure nothing really, hopefully, can be contained, and we're not stuck in a Indian hospital to go and have our vacation there. But yeah, we're going to be cautious on food, drinks, also eating fruit, eating vegetables, lettuce, things like that. The vegetables and growing is a bit different from everything we have in the US. So we're going to be careful with that. But we are going to go through an experience and be ready. And that's part of traveling. Food sickness is not a happy side of things, but it does happen. And you just need to stay hydrated the best you can, and make the most of what you can, and be as safe and precautious as you can, which is very important. Another element is street food. Being a chef myself, I love street food. For me, the basis of the culture of where I'm going and the people is in the street food. Street food speaks for the common everyday person that's out there. And it's not a Hilton gourmet feast. It is what the everyday person goes out and eats on a regular basis. And that's what I'm after when I go into a new place I've never been. But India might be a bit different for me. We will have different things to contend with, food sanitation, as noted. But yeah, I think my street food adventures will have to be put on hold. Aside from that, I've had some amazing food adventures in Thailand. Um, Up in Chiang Mai, the night markets are absolutely stunning. So do not let that just heed you away from street food in general. You can have some very amazing street food. I've had great street food and experiences in Mexico, Asia, Australia, all kinds of different locations. And then, even with as much precaution as you can take with that, I fell ill to food poisoning with while working at a five-star resort. I've had it at backpackers. I've had it at fine restaurants. I've had it in street food. Um, if it's not handled or prepared sanitary in a sanitary manner, you're at the mercy of where you're getting it from. But I guess that's kind of the risk and adventure and the experiences when you're out and about. But yes, we will do a full lookup on shots and anything we need for potential malaria. I have taken malaria pills twice when I was in Vanuatu. We were out in some of the northern islands in Vanuatu, and some of the rainforest in the islands. And we were on, I believe it was Larium. Larium does tend to give you a bit of an interesting dream. So if you have a lot on your mind and you're thinking about a lot, it will have you with some interesting dreams potentially. The most recent time I took it was in 2018 when I was in Tanzania on safari. And I was on, I can't remember what of it is. It's similar to an acting medication that I took as a child. and it was good, no problems. You got to make sure you take it for 1 week before you go to get your system used to it, and then stay on it while you're there. Very important, and even more importantly, continue the course of medication for malaria pills after you leave. Um, a lot of people might make the mistake of, oh, I'm out of my location, I'm not at risk anymore. But it is important to take that last week or set notes by your doctor to go and finish up what you're prescribed. You don't want to get home and potentially get malaria. That's never a good thing. That could definitely dampen your holidays or your future trips or time after your trip. All right, we still have 4 people, now 5 people. Don't be shy, guys. Jump in, say hello, and share where you're looking to go and travel ideas or thoughts. Are you a long term traveler? Do you like hostels? Do you like backpackers, homestays? Do you like more of a luxurious side? Do you like the big 5-star resorts? Do you like the cruise ships? Do you like dive resorts or eco resorts? I have stayed in a variety of all things over the years of traveling. So it's all about just getting out there. So, yeah, I've stayed in little homestays in, where was I? I was in parts of Thailand. I was in the northern mountains north of Chiang Mai, and we got on a 4-day hike, and we stayed in some homestays with a local village, and just simple beds, dirt floors, sheets, pillow, um, bug screen walls, and that was it. And it was absolutely amazing. Had an amazing time that just I'll never forget. I met some amazing people from all over the world, and we'll continue to keep in touch with through social media. Everybody says the plus sides and the negative sides of social media. For me, I tend to use it on the plus side and use it to network and keep in touch with everybody. When you're traveling around the world, here or there over years, you meet so many interesting people. You don't want to lose touch with everybody. So we'll use social media in a good, positive nature on that. Yeah, so I've stayed in eco resorts. I was just over in Costa Rica. Let's see if anybody in the group has been out to Costa Rica before. I was just in Costa Rica in this past April. I was down there on a wildlife expedition, working and filming and gathering content for my videos for the channel that you may have seen. I got together with some friends that I made along the way. I contacted my friend in Iguazu, northern Argentina, just outside of Iguazu Falls National Park, and we went there to see the waterfalls and the birds. But I reached out to him, my guide out there, Pocho, and we recommended some guides up in Monteverde. And in Monteverde, I connected with Jason Lopez of Monteverde Nature Tours. And from there, we had 5 days hiking and trekking and exploring birds. So if anybody's interested in exploring Costa Rica, that's an absolutely amazing place for wildlife, people, food, environment, just an overall really, really great trip. Okay, someone chimed in. Hitchhiking all over. You dove around Playa de Cocos, and then I did Nicaragua, all over the volcanoes. Phenomenal. That's great. I have not been to Nicaragua yet. I have some good friends at Nicaragua who I worked with on my last yacht, and they're always inviting me to come down and visit and show me the way and what to explore and what to go check out. Uh, the volcanoes, yes, I would love to see the volcanoes. I've seen a couple different volcanoes uh, around the world, like Mount Haleakala in Hawaii on Maui. I was over a live volcano, Mount Yasser, in the island of Tanna, out in Vanuatu. That was quite exciting to see volcanoes erupt in front of you and have live molten lava spewing up. And that was really, really an experience I'll never forget. I will have to go check out Playa de Cocos. I have heard it mentioned from different people that I keep in touch with. So, yes, I would love to get out there and explore. Unfortunately, there's never enough time for vacation. I need to get out and have more vacation and go around and just keep going. But we got to work. We're going to make money to pay for all our trips and adventures. Unfortunately, I'm not funded or sponsored yet. But hey, if you're listening, I'm open to sponsorships, gear, apparel, and different products like that. So I'm always open to that. Reach out, contact me. Also, Costa Rica, Arenal. Yes, Arenal was fantastic. We got out there and got to have a hike around. And it was just something else. It's like almost being in a whole new world. Um, I did not get to experience too much of that area. I just didn't have enough time. Again, you're always fighting time and need to get more of it. So, but Arenal's on my list for when I go back maybe next year. We'll take a shorter trip for maybe just 2-3 weeks, and we'll go out and explore different areas that we went to and that we would like to go to again. I went to Monteverde, as I noted with Jason Lopez of Monteverde Nature Tours. He's an incredible guide, and if anybody needs another guide for that area, um, he does group tours, he'll do private tours. He sets everything up, he helps build your itinerary for what you're after and what you would like to do. Some days we were chasing howler monkeys in the treetops, and other days we were in the cloud forest, and other days we were in other rainforest. Costa Rica is very unique. There's all kinds of different levels of forest and environments, and he's very knowledgeable on all of that. So if anybody would like his details, I have his WhatsApp, and I'm willing to share that with anybody who would like to go and experience part of Costa Rica. I'm sure he would be able to help around Arenal. I can reach out to him and see what's possible. If you're also in Costa Rica, I was down in the south, and I was with Walter Sanchez, birding naturalist guide, another incredible guide, birder, very knowledgeable on all the wildlife and birds and things that swim and run around through the jungle. I can happily share his details with you guys as well. Just shout it out here. And actually, let me see if I can put that in the chat there. Let's see what we can do. Bear with me here. Let's see what we got going on here. Bring up his page. Okay, guys, here it is. I found Jason's Instagram here. So if you're all on Instagram, here is a way to reach him. And for those who do not have Instagram, I have his Facebook, which is okay. So hopefully that helps. Everybody's looking to go to Costa Rica. And after that, Nicaragua was amazing. In Central America, I've also spent time in Belize and Mexico. All favorites of mine. Let's see, just checking the phone here. All right. So yes, Costa Rica. So many things you can do out there. If you want to surf, you can surf. There's great surf in the area, and I did not get to surf this past time, but hopefully next time there'll be a good swell and I can get out there for a bit of a play in the waves. You can go up into the northern areas. You can stay down south and just work your way through the area. There's some really beautiful places. All right. Has anybody been towards South America at all? Another favorite place of mine who I would like to go visit and revisit. I was out in Colombia. I was in northern Colombia in Santa Marta area in the Sierra Madres on a birding adventure. We were up there, and I was with a really great guide who I found last minute before a trip. I was given some time off from work, and I put a trip together for about 10 days in Sierra Madres with the guides and the coastal areas as well. We went up to Minca, and I went with a group called, where was it? It was, there we are. It was a Minca Birding. Minca Birding was our experience up there, and that was with Fidel, and just phenomenal, wonderful. Um, Spoke a good Spanish, spoke a good English, and he knew his stuff, and he'd been doing it for years, and was very knowledgeable on all of the areas people would want to experience. He knew all the birds, the waterfalls, the good places to eat, the really cool bed and breakfast places to stay. Um, Traditionally, I generally don't stay in larger hotels and places like that. I tend to go for more of a smaller boutique, family-run operation or small business or things like that. It sort of just helps support the local community as well too, which is very important while we're traveling and experiencing different parts of the world. Whether you're out shopping, buying local handicraft from different vendors, local restaurants. I know everybody has their favorites of McDonald's or Taco Bell or Subway or something like that. But I know once I get off a plane after flying for 2 days from the other side of the world, the last thing I really want to do is go have a cheeseburger from McDonald's or a taco from Taco Bell. But hey, everyone has their fancy, so enjoy it. But yeah, support local people while you're traveling. They are all part of it. Very important on that. All right, still 2 people in here. All right. So if you know anybody else that's free this evening and wants to join, send them the link. It's all good. But hope everybody's enjoying. And if you have any questions on where I'm going, where I've been, have I been to a certain area that you're looking to go to, chime in. Don't be shy. Any South American travelers out there? We are just going down the list of different places to go and check out and stuff, and always looking to go somewhere new. So we know some really cool places to go. Just shout it out, leave a link, and I'll be happy to go check it out and yeah, see what it's all about. Does anybody like to go traveling for sporting events or festivals or holidays or things like that? They're also a good way to experience a place and check out a new area that you may or may not know what's going on. I've showed up in places and there's been parades and there's been festivals, and you just kind of put your plans on hold if you're able to, and you just get out there and join them. Go in and go see the local music. Go have a drink with the people in the streets hanging out. I remember I was in Bruges, and we were a little after New Year's. I was working on a boat in the south of Netherlands, and we're up there, and we're going take the day trip to the ferry across to Belgium, and then from Belgium we went to the city of historical Bruges, and we got there. There's crowds and crowds of people, and after that, we weren't sure what was going on because New Year's was over, and we are gonna, check out the city. The old cobblestone, older architecture and village style was absolutely, wonderful to walk around. But there was what was called the governor's toast. So the governor's toast was a free beers. All the breweries would set up big tables in the squares and the piazzas around town, and they would go and just walk up to the table and grab a drink and walk around and enjoy a nice frosty local beer of the brewery up there. There were multiple breweries with different setups, and there were parades, there was live music, and yeah, just an absolutely really, really cool place to check out for the day. And we just happened to fall upon it, and we just joined it, and that became the highlight of my month, or probably my highlights of that time in Netherlands. So never be afraid of impromptu experiences, events, or holidays or celebrations when you're out traveling. Itineraries are good, but yeah, you don't have to be super rigid if you don't have to. If you are, I understand, but I tend to leave a little bit of wiggle room, as they call it, in my adventures of going around. So that allowed us to experience that. So that's just one example there. Does anybody have any ultimate dream trips, bucket list trips that they're looking to work on or put together, or just out on a whim and a prayer and going for it? For bucket list trips, I have I have a couple. I would like to get out to Southeast Asia, to get out to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and really just go through some of the temples out there, check out some of the diving, and just work my way through that region. It's absolutely stunning from what I saw in no, in Thailand when I was there for 5 weeks, and I barely scratched the surface over there. So yeah, bucket list trips. Gotta make it happen. Last year, I had a real good one. Actually, in 24, I had the trip of my bucket list was to swim with the humpback whales in Tonga. The whales, the mother and calves, will come and they'll give birth in the lagoons around Tonga, and the mother will raise them for several months there in the shallow lagoons before they continue on their journey north or south, depending whether it's Antarctica or Alaska. So we got a week out there. You fly into Vavau. At that time, I was living in Fiji, and you can go direct from Nandi, Fiji, and fly to Vavau, Tonga. That's how popular of a destination it is. We went there to swim with the humpback whales for a week. I had a boat lined up in a group, and we just went out in the water, and no diving, just mask and fins, no free diving. That's not allowed. I was told if I dove down and took some photos, I would not be allowed back on the boat the following day and be kept out of the water. So they are strict out there, and it's best to respect the local guidelines with your outfitters who you're going with. And it's just respect to the animals and your environment. There are photos of people free diving down with humpbacks, yes. Maybe that's from the past, but they're really pulling in the reins on activities like that. But just being able to go out and experience that and travel around with a whale. I had a calf come up and pretty much come within 10 feet of me. Now, the calf was probably 8 to 10 feet long and weighed about a couple tons. And it was literally coming up to me to play, rolling and splashing its fins. It was a couple months old, and he wanted somebody to play and splash around with. And I had to be pulled back by my guide, actually, as the whale was coming closer to me than I had realized. I was in the camera, and I was filming stills and video on my GoPro. So I got pulled back on that. But it was a wonderful time just being that close to nature, being in the water when they sang. You could hear the males would have essentially their chorus to announce their presence in the lagoons to the other females. So it would be pretty magical. We're over one of the large males for maybe 15 minutes, and it just sang its chorus over and over again. And you would literally feel this sound coming up through your chest. You would have your wetsuit on the surface, and then you would just literally feel the sound waves of the whale song. So that was a pretty magical experience on my bucket list. Yeah, so always working on that list. It's tick one off the list, as I mentioned before, and then after that, you add a couple more, or maybe you go back and do it again. It was that much fun. I would go back to Tonga in a heartbeat to do some filming out there and just swim and be with the whales. If anybody would like details on that, on my outfitter out there, I would be happy to share any of that. All right, we're coming up on almost an hour here, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Yeah, it's new for me, so it's just different being live on camera, the whole world to see, so to say. But yeah, we got that going on. And if anybody would like to contribute or add anything to the conversation or our cast this evening, feel free. And if you enjoyed it, let me know. Anything to adjust or change. I'd like to do this again. I was a touch nervous coming on. It was, again, a new experience for me. So we're going to do different things and make it happen. And be sure to check out more videos of my list there. There will be videos of the whale. There'll be videos from the birds in Costa Rica. I recently just put up content and videos, shorts and longs from Norway. A little last topic to touch on. We did a 10-day polar ice adventure tour out of Svalbard, Norway, with Arctic Wildlife Tours, where 10 people got on a boat, actually a active fishing crab boat took us all the way up to 84 degrees north. And we're up there for 10 days on the pack ice, just watching whales cruise by sometimes, but most of all, we're after polar bears. We were filming 1, 2, up to 8 polar bears at a time. We had midnight sun up there, so it was always bright. Filming conditions were incredible. Lots of sun, a little bit of cloud. Our biggest contender was the fog. So that was what we were after. And but yeah, it was an experience, just being absolutely frigid cold. You'd have your hands around the camera and you'd go to adjust some dials or move your fingers, even with the gloves on and keeping them hands warm in the pocket. Your fingers would start to get a little stiff and not move as quickly as you thought. But an experience that will always be amazing. The polar bears were curious. They are the top predator. They are the top of the food chain up there. You are not. You are not the top of the food chain. Maybe back home where you are on the top of the food chain. But up there, at 84 degrees north, in the pack ice, polar bear is the king, also known as the ice bear. So yeah, that was a really, really unique experience. You'd be up 2 o'clock in the morning, just taking pictures, walking around, and luckily we had an amazing event happen where we had a dead sperm whale that was caught in the ice, and the whales were outside of that main ice ring, but we were just going through and just drifting around this dead whale, which was a magnet for birds, for fish, for polar bears, you name it that could get out there. It was a giant dinner bell. There's plenty of whale to go around, and it was very, very popular with the bears. So 1, 2, 8 bears at a time. It was tough to know where to point the camera. So that again was also another bucket list item of mine, which was just absolutely amazing. We were at the furthest point north I've ever been in my life. I have been down to Antarctica, down to Deception Sound and the Antarctic Peninsula, and that was my most southern element. And then with this trip up in Svalbard at 84 north, there's not much after you up there until you get to the North Pole. Lots of ice, some bears, and yeah, a lot of ice and ocean and hungry bears. So absolutely just one of a kind experience. Even my guides up there with Arctic Wildlife Tours, guide, his name was V-Day, and he said he's been doing this for over 10 years and he's never had this himself. So we got pretty lucky, and we just took lots of pictures. So a lot of my recent content is up there in videos and short form, longer form, 10, 12, 15-minute videos. I also just recently posted a video on sleep aid, cruising through the ice. So if you or anybody you know has trouble listening, falling asleep, it's just a nice, soothing, relaxing video of just ice with nice, soothing, relaxing music to help you fall asleep. And yeah, hope you enjoy, share. Thank you for the chance to do this. We had up to 5 people this time. We had 2 throughout most of the experience here through our time. So thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody showing up and everybody staying for as long as I could. I know everybody has busy schedules and has things to take care of, but thank you for being here. It's been wonderful, and hopefully we'll get to do this again. And that'll be me, Matthew of Endless Travel Productions, signing off. Have a good Thursday night, and have any comments, questions, inquiries about any of the places I've been or mentioned in this live stream, please reach out to me. Drop me a message. I am pretty quick on my phone, so don't be shy. I have a lot of knowledge of traveling and exploring the world so far, only building on more. But I would love to help out and direct anybody if they have any questions on where to go or ideas of different things or guides or things of that nature. So have a good night, everybody. Be safe and safe travels. Thanks for showing up. Good night.